India with Design Accessory Adoption. Thanks for watching this video and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, first off, thank you so much for giving my little video channel a try and clicking play. And then for my returning folks, a special thank you to you for coming back for another video, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, all of that. So definitely, if you are interested, for those of you who are new to my channel, if you're interested in anything related to fashion, luxury, more so focused on the pre-owned side of things, but I do throw in unboxings and also other lifestyle topics, definitely consider, and product reviews, definitely consider giving my channel a try and subscribing. And I would really appreciate it if you're enjoying the content to give me a thumbs up. That will help my video be suggested to other folks that like similar topics. So we will go ahead and get started with today's video, which will be more of a chatty video pretty much. And I decided to record my journey that I'm still on right now. So as you can see from the title, this video will be covering the reason why I decided to sell my Hermès Victoria 2. And I likely will at least record one other video. Like I said, I'm in the middle of this journey. So I'll first start off with what led me to purchase it, then what led me to decide to get rid of it, and then what I plan on replacing it with. And then when I finally do get that replacement item, I will record another video to unbox and share to kind of complete the journey. So let's go ahead and get started. So first off, I'll start off with, and I'll throw in pictures here and there of the bag, so that way there's something to look at besides just staring at me. So you'll see some pictures of my bag also pop up here throughout the video. Anyway, so first off, if you don't know, I also have a small online resale business where I sell secondhand designer accessories for men and women, and then I resell them basically for a profit. And so that is how I actually discovered, I knew about Hermès, but that's how I discovered the Victoria tote in the first place. So one of the places that I do source, I was about to say content, one of the places that I do source products from is from estate sales. So it's at an estate sale. I went into this room, this person had so many pairs of shoes, so many handbags. This one handbag was laying on the sofa, and I could tell that it wasn't a structured handbag because it basically had collapsed upon itself. It was soft and very flat, and it was in all black, and it was one of the only handbags that did not have a tag on it. So this person had Prada shoes, like either hardly worn or never worn, still had price tags on them. Prada shoes, pretty much mostly I think that person really liked Prada. Also handbags were Prada handbags, Louis Vuitton. Yeah, I think that's mostly what I remembered seeing. And I'm sure there were other brands, but that's just what I remember seeing. So notice that this one handbag that was obviously leather, very shiny, very pretty, laying on the sofa, and it didn't have a tag. So I reached over to look at it because obviously in order for me to make a profit off of it, I have to get it at a price that's low enough to be able to basically mark it up at a fair markup price to be able to resell it. And so a lot of the items that were there, they just were too high priced for me to even get money, make money off of it. So this one handbag was sitting there, like I said, without a price tag. So I immediately reached over to touch it. And before I could even see what brand it was, I remember thinking, this leather feels really thick, really soft, and feels very supple and amazing. And as I pulled the front part of the handbag back, I noticed the stamping of Hermès. And if you are familiar with Hermès, which a lot of you I'm sure are, a lot of people do talk about the Birkin and the Kelly. And even with those handbags, even if you can see it from a mile away and notice whether it's a Birkin or a Kelly, you notice that there's no logos on it. Hermès is very well known for basically letting the handbag style, the craftsmanship, the leather speak for them versus plastering their logo. Now, obviously the Evelyn, the Constance, you can see the H's on those, and that's more of a logo type of bag from the fashion house. But for the most part, you will not see logos or heavily placed in places on their handbags. Like there'll be a stamping, but it won't be obvious, or you have to be up close to see it pretty much. So anyway, noticed that it was, and I thought, oh, that's why this big bag feels so nice. So anyway, decided to negotiate with the company that was there selling the items that that homeowner no longer wanted, and got it at a really good price. Did some research before I purchased it to see what the current kind of resale price was, and figured I could make a good profit off of it. So fast forward, as I took this bag home, now it was, and I'll throw up I should have a photo of the Victoria tote that I actually got. So I'll throw up that, or I'll throw up another photo that I can find. So you should see that somewhere on the screen by now. Anyway, so it was lined with leather. So it was a very heavy handbag. The outside was leather. The interior was leather. It had bottom feet, and just a very luxurious handbag. It had a lovely weight to it. It did not have any structure because it was a softer handbag. It was made out of Clemence leather, which is very well known to kind of be a more relaxed styled handbag. And so with that said, it really just collapsed on itself. And so if you were to stand it up, it needs things in it in order to stand up on its own. Otherwise it will just collapse. Anyway, so had it for a little while at home, did some research on it, cleaned it up, spruced it up, took pictures of it, and I really, really liked it. I had to keep telling myself while I was listing it and waiting for it to sell that I can't keep this handbag. I have to sell it, but I really did want to keep it. It wasn't the perfect bag for me because it didn't have a zip top. It was just very open. Also, kind of the structure of it was a little bit different. When I mean that, it was a tote bag, but it wasn't a super wide tote bag. It was really more of a boxy shape. And really, if you were to put a handbag organizer in it, you would like kind of sit under your arm like this, so you really wouldn't be able to like move your hand down to kind of like make the leather kind of collapse onto your skin like I just did with my hand. So it really wasn't an ideal kind of tote bag shape that for me anyway. It was just really exciting to really see a nice quality in the Hermès handbag. But other than that, had no other interaction with the fashion house and their products. So yeah, really, really, really fell in love with that bag. But it wasn't right for me, like I said, and I also bought it for a reason, to make a profit. So since then, had sold that bag. All right, so fast forward, that's what initially got me started into my interest. So I did some research, like a lot of you guys do when you're looking for something that you're interested in. You want to see videos on it. And so there's not really a lot of videos on the Victoria. So they had the Victoria tote, and they also have the Victoria 2, which is a shorter handbag, more in a softer, rounder, rectangular shape. So I also throw up a photo. You should see the photo of the handbag that I decided to sell. So that is what I decided to go with. Now the reason, like I mentioned, I was doing research on it, and I only could find 2 English-speaking videos, which were by Winnie, which I will throw her YouTube channel down here below. Definitely check her out. She buys a lot of vintage Chanel and vintage Hermès. So I really like her channel. It's very interesting. I do definitely watch her from time to time. So she had a great review. I think both of her videos were from her, like I mentioned, and they both were on the Victoria tote. And that's what kind of sold me on it, because I'm a person where I don't really like a lot of logos. Now with the Victoria 2, I will say that it does kind of have a little bit of an old lady type of structure to it. When you see it, it's more like a kind of a duffel bag, but not really a duffel bag. But there's nothing kind of like spectacular as far as like design about it, right? It just looks like a really nice leather handbag. I think it was intended for travel because there is a lock that comes with it. And I believe that Winnie, who I mentioned, also uses hers as a travel bag. I'm not a person where I'm going to travel with an expensive handbag. That's just not what I feel comfortable doing. Also, my handbag that expensive is not going on the floor, and it is not going in the overhead carry compartment. So absolutely not. So I intended to use it as a handbag, not as something to travel with. So anyway, but I digress. So yeah, so I decided to get that one because it actually, if you go to the Hermès website, it is currently being sold. So you can see the current selling price for them. And why did I mention that? So you can currently see the price that it's being sold for. So it is a current bag that you can actually buy online right now if you wanted to. This bag is a totally under the radar Hermès piece, where if you're really familiar with Hermès, then you would see that and know that that's a Victoria if you're familiar with that style and the fashion house like I mentioned, but it's not something that screams, I'm an expensive handbag. Also with that, I predominantly buy my handbags from the secondhand market because you can get anywhere from 50 to probably I'd say more like 30 depending on what it is, 30% to 70% off of the original retail price. So I in no way paid the same amount that they're selling those handbags for now on the website. So I got a really good discount on it. And usually I will buy myself a handbag for my birthday. So I did buy it for my birthday in 2019. So I had not even had that long. Didn't use it at all for 2020. So for those reasons, I decided to purchase it because I liked the general shape of it. I felt like it wasn't something that screamed, this is a designer handbag from a logo perspective. It just looks like a really nice, well-made leather handbag. And also I felt like at any age point, whether you like I was in my I'm in my 30s, so that's when I purchased it, and it was a really great bag that also can grow with me. Like I feel like a lady who's 80 or 90 years old can walk around with this handbag too, and it's still relevant. So it could grow with you. And the other reason why I wanted to purchase it is because I like that it had the bottom feet. I absolutely love the click clack of hardware on hardware or hardware on a hard surface. I just love that crisp sound. You probably think I'm weird, but I know there are some handbag lovers out there that absolutely understand what I mean. So to you guys, I know you guys are like, yes, yes. So anyway, so that's the reasons why I got it. Also, in addition to that, the strap. The strap was it was long enough also to fit over your shoulder. So that was also the reason why I wanted to purchase the handbag. Now I will talk about why I decided to get rid of it. So, the reason why I decided to get rid of it is also some of the same reasons why I purchased it. So, because it just really did not work for my lifestyle. I generally like to try to rotate my handbags every 2 weeks to make sure I get wear out of them. So, like I had already started talking about before, is I had the opportunity to use it through 2020. Now, we're now in 2021. I've also had the opportunity to use it, and I still did not go for it. And there are a few reasons why. One, I don't really carry a lot of items with me, period. So this handbag, I was never going to be able to fill up to the brim, to the max, even like 3/4 full. I wasn't even going to be able to do that. I had actually purchased because I like the softer structure of it and to be able to hold it over your shoulder. I felt like it wasn't going to be a good idea to get an organizer for it. So I decided to get 2 pouches where I would put my items in, and I would just leave the pouch open so that way I could just reach inside the bag, grab what I needed, and not have to kind of like shuffle around because it is a big open space. While there are 2 or 3 pockets on the inside, pretty much it's a large interior. So with that said, I felt like I needed some organization. But like I mentioned, I don't really carry a lot. So it felt like a larger handbag than what I really needed. In addition to that, if you can see from the photo, it is a wider bag. So it's long and it also is wide. So really this bag fitting under your, on your arm, on your shoulder, on your shoulder it really is a bulky structure. So pretty much if you're going to wear the handbag, I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see, you would have to push the bag to go like this, basically, like you can see my hand. So it looked like an extra wing pretty much, where you would have to shift the handbag towards the back in order for it to make sense to wear it on your shoulder because of its boxy, wide structure. So for those reasons, I really wasn't carrying on the shoulder like I wanted to. I was carrying it either in my hand or in the crook of my arm, which then completely defeated the purpose of a shoulder bag. And so for those reasons, I felt like it just was not going to work for my lifestyle. And I didn't want to keep it just because I wanted to check off on the box, I have something from this fashion house. I really do like it, like I said, so this is in no way bashing it. I'm just listing out reasons why it did not work for me. And hopefully if you're interested in it, maybe you can take these cons that I'm listing out and determine whether it's really going to work for you as well. It also totally depends on kind of the reason why you're trying to get it and what you're using it for. So I'm the person where I don't like just having things sit in my closet where it's just wasted money. So if it's not working for whatever reason, or I just no longer gravitate towards it, then I will go ahead and sell it. And so that is the reason why I did decide to sell it. Now segueing into how I'm going to sell it, and then also what I'm going to decide to replace it with. So, like I mentioned earlier, you're probably thinking, well, you know, are you going to sell it yourself? And no, I'm not. And I do have my own website. I also sell, and that website is daaconsignment.com. So you'll see a link down below if you're interested in checking out my website to see what products I have available for sale. Also, I do have closets set up on Tradesy and Poshmark, as well as my eBay account. I do have an active eBay account. I don't have anything for sale in my store on eBay. I am slowly working to get back onto starting to sell on eBay, but at this point, there's a store, but there's nothing available for sale on the eBay store, but the other ones do. Anyway, so if you are interested in purchasing from me, definitely try to purchase from my website. That way I get a bigger cut of the profit. I don't have to share it with the other third-party marketplaces. That's just a little small public service announcement and self-promotion there. But anyway, as after I did my research, like I mentioned earlier, this handbag style is not one of the more well-known styles for the fashion house. So first off, because this item, even on the resale market, is pretty expensive, I will definitely say the prices that I've seen currently while I was doing my research trying to determine whether I was going to sell it myself or whether I was going to send it off to somewhere else to sell it for me, I did notice that a lot of the prices I'm seeing are a lot more than what I paid for it. So anyway, I looked into that and I noticed that, you know, I can get a pretty decent profit from it if I sold it myself. But there are only a small amount of people that are able to afford that price. In addition to that, there are less people that can afford that price that are looking for that style. So you definitely have to have a really large reach in order for someone, the right person, to come along that's specifically looking for that bag style, that's willing to pay the price tag that people are now asking for it. And I decided, because my store is on the smaller scale of things, there's a lot of other big, really popular stores out there that people will likely gravitate towards first, and they have a larger pool of people that will likely be looking for that handbag. So it's better to ship it out versus me trying to sell it myself and wait a longer or double the amount of time for it to sell. So that is the reason why I decided to do that after I did research to see kind of what's available on the market, what's the current selling price, and then how long are those handbags even staying out there and being sold. So that was all factors into for me to say, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and sell it off. So I did actually send it to another company to sell for me. I felt like that was the best thing for me to do, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm in the middle of that process now. It actually is with Fashion File and should be delivered at this point and in processing. Moving into what I decided to sell it for, or replace it with, is really what I should say. So I decided to replace the money that I'm going to get for the Victoria 2 for a Fendi Peekaboo. I am currently debating on the mini size and the medium size, but the Fendi Peekaboo, and I know I watch a lot of YouTube, so I hear a lot of YouTubers say this, and this is no dig, but I think it's comical sometimes when people say, like, I've been wanting this, or I've been thinking about this for a long time, and then they actually reveal what their time frame is for a long time, and everybody has a different kind of range, really. Like, so some people say, like, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and it's like a month. And I'm thinking, that's not really a long time, but okay. But for me, literally, I have been this bag has been on my wish list. It has not been something I've been actively pursuing on my wish list for this amount of time, but I would say it's been on my wish list for at least about 8 to 10 years. Like I said, I haven't been actively pursuing it that long, but it always has been hovering out there. Like most of my my luxury higher end handbags, I do buy those secondhand, so I don't buy those brand new. And I do not plan to deviate from that, so I do plan on searching the secondhand market because I love searching on the secondhand market for things and getting that savings as well as the hunt in it all. So I totally enjoy that. Why I have a side business doing that now. Anyway, so basically I do believe that I'm pretty much going to take those funds to buy a Fendi peekaboo on the secondhand market because they are a lot less expensive than buying it brand new. So that'll be the route I'm pretty sure I'm going to take. And I'm deciding between the mini size and the medium. I'm pretty sure that I would be able to fill up the mini well. The medium, I know I'll definitely have room. However, I really like that the bottom feet are on the medium than the mini. So that's the dilemma with the medium and the mini. But I do feel like I will go for the medium because I feel like the bottom feet is a selling point for me. A big, big selling point. So that is what I'm deciding to replace it with. Now, I am known to, at some point, if I decide, you know what, this is not going to work and change my mind, I will completely switch gears and decide to do something else. So that's why I take it with a grain of salt. If you see my unboxing video and it's completely different from this one, first off, thank you for watching this video and then watching that future video. But if it's something different, I'll definitely say that in the second video. But at this moment in time, that's what I've been stuck on, and that's what I've been stuck on for the past couple of months. So I feel like it's highly likely that's what I will replace it with. Now, I have never tried on a peekaboo in the store, so I don't know whether it really is going to work for me. So that'll be the ultimate test. But if it doesn't, we'll go through this journey again. I definitely plan on purchasing it from somewhere where I'm able to return it in case it doesn't work. Because, look, I'm an everyday person like the rest of you guys that have to save up for these things. So I don't have it like that to just be buying stuff and then not being able to send it back. So I need to make sure it's going to work. So anyway, so that is my story. Definitely let me know if you own a peekaboo or are considering one. Let me know your thoughts on my decision to get a peekaboo. I would love to hear from, especially you all that are peekaboo owners out there, and how you're loving it, how you're using it. I've been trying to watch a lot of videos, watching the pros and cons, so I can really make an informed decision on whether that's going to be right. And at this point, the things that I've seen, I feel like that's going to work for me. Now, also, if any of you guys are Victoria lovers out there and you own a Victoria, definitely let me know that in the comments down below too. I would love to hear from you. If you do have other questions on the Victoria tote, definitely let me know, and I can just give you what I've experienced in my perspective to help you out if you are considering a Victoria tote. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate you walking through me with this Hermès journey, as well as my YouTube journey out here. So I typically load videos every Wednesday covering topics, like I mentioned before, related to fashion and luxury, secondhand focus, but also do unboxings. But also with that, I do also release videos every other Saturday at 8 a.m. So the Wednesday videos are at 8 p.m. Saturday videos twice a month or at 8 a.m. So thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you again soon. Have a good day. Bye.